Good morning, dear friends. Remaining calm is not about controlling your emotions or suppressing your thoughts. It is about creating an inner space where external turbulence cannot touch you. The world around you will always be unpredictable. People, situations, and challenges will constantly change. But the question is, can you remain untouched by this chaos and retain your inner balance? Being calm does not mean being passive or indifferent. It means operating from clarity, not compulsion. A calm person is like a still lake. They reflect life as it is, without distortion, allowing them to respond effectively and consciously. So let us explore the ways to nurture this state of calmness. Let us begin with the simple truth: the body and mind are deeply interconnected. If your body is restless, your mind cannot find peace. Just observe yourself for a day. When you are anxious, your hands fidget, your legs tap, or your breathing becomes shallow. This restlessness in the body amplifies the chaos in your mind. To calm the storm within, the first step is to bring stillness to your physical being. Stillness is not about rigidity, it is about awareness. In the modern world, most of us are constantly in motion, whether we are physically moving or mentally juggling thoughts. This endless activity exhausts us, leaving no space for calmness to arise. But you can consciously break this cycle by learning to sit quietly and observing yourself. Start with something as simple as sitting in a comfortable position with your spine erect and your body relaxed. Close your eyes and bring your attention to your breath. Do not try to control it, just observe. You may notice the breath entering and leaving your nostrils or the gentle rise and fall of your chest. This act of observation connects you to the present moment. In the beginning, your mind will resist. Thoughts will come rushing in, things to do, worries, memories. Do not fight them. Fighting creates more restlessness. Instead, simply let them come and go like clouds passing through the sky. Your job is not to engage with the clouds, but to remain aware of the vast sky behind them. That vastness is your inner stillness. You might think this is too simple. Can something so basic really work? But understand, this stillness is not about doing, it is about being. When you practice this regularly, even for a few minutes each day, you will notice something extraordinary. Your body begins to relax, your breathing becomes deeper and steadier, and your mind starts to settle like dust in a room left undisturbed. Stillness is not just a practice, it becomes a way of being. When you move through your day, carry this stillness with you. Whether you are sitting in a meeting, waiting in traffic, or walking in a park, bring your attention to your body and breath. Let your movements be deliberate, not rushed. The more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. Think of a still lake. When the water is calm, it reflects everything around it, the trees, the sky, the mountains, with perfect clarity. But when the water is disturbed, the reflection becomes distorted. Your mind works the same way. When your body and mind are restless, your perception of life is unclear. But when stillness arises, life is reflected in its true beauty and you respond to it with clarity and grace. Establishing inner stillness is not about escaping the world or withdrawing into silence. It is about building a solid foundation within yourself so that no matter what happens outside, you remain unshaken. It is about anchoring yourself in a state of peace that external turbulence cannot disturb. Once this stillness becomes a part of your daily life, you will find that calmness is no longer a fleeting experience, but a permanent companion. So take the first step. Sit down, close your eyes, and simply be. The path to stillness begins with you. Reactions are instinctive, automatic, and often impulsive. They arise without conscious thought, driven by our emotions, past experiences, and immediate perceptions. Responses, on the other hand, are thoughtful, deliberate, and rooted in awareness. To move from a state of reacting to one of responding is to shift from being controlled by life to being in control of how you engage with it. Let's examine what it means to react. Imagine someone says something hurtful or unfair. Your natural impulse might be to lash out, defend yourself, or retaliate. This reaction is instantaneous, often fueled by anger or hurt. But later, when the emotions subside, you might find yourself regretting your words or actions. Why does this happen? Because reactions come from a place of compulsion, not clarity. They are a result of the emotional triggers embedded in your subconscious mind. Responses, however, are different. When you respond, you take a moment to pause and assess the situation. This pause is not about suppressing your emotions, but creating a space where you can observe them without letting them dictate your actions. It is in this space of awareness that you can choose a course of action that aligns with your deeper understanding and values. To stop reacting and start responding, you need to cultivate awareness. The next time you feel provoked, whether by a difficult conversation, a stressful situation, or even an internal thought, practice pausing. This pause can be as short as a deep breath or as long as a few moments of reflection. In this pause, ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Why am I feeling this way? Is my immediate reaction helpful or harmful? These questions may seem simple, but they allow you to step back from the emotional charge and engage your mind consciously. Another important aspect of responding is understanding the difference between the situation and your perception of it. Often what triggers us is not the event itself, but the meaning we assign to it. For example, if someone criticizes your work, your immediate reaction might be defensiveness because you perceive the criticism as an attack on your competence. But if you take a moment to step back, you might realize that the criticism is simply feedback, not a personal affront. This shift in perception allows you to respond constructively, perhaps by seeking clarification or using the feedback to improve. Moving from reaction to response also requires letting go of the need to always be right or in control. Many reactions stem from our ego or desire to protect our image or assert dominance. But if you can rise above this need and focus on the bigger picture, your interactions become less about winning or losing and more about fostering understanding and growth. Another tool to aid this transformation is mindfulness. By practicing mindfulness, you train your mind to stay present rather than getting swept away by emotional undercurrents. This presence allows you to observe your inner state without judgment. Over time, this practice builds a buffer between stimulus and reaction, giving you the space to choose your response consciously. Remember, reacting is easy because it requires no thought. But responding is an act of intelligence and maturity. It requires you to step out of your emotional patterns and operate from a place of clarity and understanding. This does not mean you suppress your feelings or avoid conflict. On the contrary, responding allows you to engage with life more fully and authentically. For example, if someone's behavior genuinely upsets you, responding doesn't mean pretending it didn't. It means expressing your feelings in a way that fosters resolution rather than escalating the problem. A response might sound like, I felt hurt when you said that, and I'd like to understand your perspective, instead of reacting with anger or withdrawal. To live a life where you respond rather than react is to live with intention. It transforms your relationships, your decision-making, and your overall sense of well-being. Instead of being a victim of external circumstances, you become the master of your inner world, capable of navigating life with grace and wisdom. So the next time life throws something challenging your way, remember, pause, breathe, observe, and then act. This simple practice has the power to transform not only how you handle situations, but also who you are as a person. Your mind is an extraordinary tool, capable of creating wonders, solving complex problems, and imagining possibilities beyond what exists. But for many of us, this tool has turned into a master, dictating our actions, emotions, and well-being. When you become a slave to your mind, you are at the mercy of its endless chatter, compulsive thoughts, and fleeting emotions. To break free from this bondage is to reclaim your ability to live consciously and joyfully. The mind is like a river constantly flowing, full of thoughts, memories, and desires. When left unchecked, this flow can turn into a torrent, sweeping you away in its current. Thoughts come unbidden, dragging you into worries about the future, regrets about the past, or fears that have no basis in reality. But the truth is, you are not your thoughts, you are the one who observes them. This realization is the first step toward freedom. Consider this: if a stranger were to walk into your home and start shouting or making demands, would you obey them without question? Of course not. Yet we allow the mind to do exactly this. It tells us you are not good enough, or this will never work, and we believe it without hesitation. The mind's voice is not always your alalai. Often it is shaped by years of conditioning, fear, and external influences. To live as its servant is to live a life of limitation. Breaking free from the mind's control begins with awareness. Start by observing your thoughts without getting entangled in them. Sit quietly for a few minutes each day and watch your mind like you would watch a movie. Notice how one thought leads to another, how emotions rise and fall, and how the mind tries to pull you in every direction. Do not judge or suppress these thoughts, simply watch. This act of observation creates a distance between you and your mind, allowing you to see it for what it is, a tool, not your master. The next step is to understand the nature of the mind. The mind thrives on repetition and habit. It clings to familiar patterns, even if those patterns cause suffering. If you constantly entertain thoughts of fear or inadequacy, the mind will reinforce these thoughts, creating a cycle that feels impossible to escape. But cycles can be broken. By introducing new positive patterns such as gratitude, mindfulness, or constructive thinking, you can retrain the mind to serve your higher purpose. Another crucial aspect of freeing yourself from the mind's grip is learning to question its authority. Just because the mind presents a thought does not mean it is true. If your mind tells you will fail, ask yourself, is this a fact or is it a fear? Often you will find that the mind's assertions are baseless, rooted in past experiences or societal conditioning rather than reality. By questioning the mind, you weaken its hold over you. Detaching from the mind also means letting go of the incessant need to identify with it. You are not your achievements, your failures, your opinions, or even your memories. These are all constructs of the mind, temporary and ever-changing. When you stop identifying with them, you discover a deeper, unchanging part of yourself, a presence that is always calm, centered, and free. Meditation is a powerful tool for mastering the mind. In meditation, you create a space where the mind can slow down and its chatter can fade into the background. Over time, this practice strengthens your ability to remain unmoved by the mind's antics. It's like taming a wild horse with patience and consistent effort. The mind becomes a loyal companion rather than a reckless force. It's also important to recognize that the mind is not your enemy. It is a magnificent instrument when used correctly. The goal is not to silence the mind entirely, but to take charge of it. When the mind is under your control, it becomes a powerful ally, helping you think creatively, solve problems, and navigate life with clarity. To not be a slave to your mind is to live from a place of freedom. It is to wake up each day with the understanding that your thoughts and emotions do not define you. It is to respond to life's challenges with wisdom rather than compulsion. And it is to experience a deeper sense of joy unshaken by the ups and downs of life. So take the reins of your mind, watch it, question it, and train it to serve you. When you master your mind, you master your life. And in that mastery lies true freedom. The present moment is the only reality you truly have. The past exists only in your memory, and the future is merely a projection of your imagination. Yet most of us spend our lives either regretting what has already happened or worrying about what might come. In doing so, we miss the profound simplicity and beauty of life as it unfolds right now. To live fully, you must learn to be in the present moment. Why is this so important? Because the present moment is where life happens. Everything you see, hear, feel, and experience is occurring now. If you are lost in thought about the past or future, you are not truly living, you are merely existing in a mental construct. The mind, when untrained, has a habit of pulling you away from the now, dragging you into memories, fantasies, and anxieties. But the truth is, the past cannot be changed, and the future cannot be controlled. The only power you have lies in how you experience and respond to this very moment. To understand this, imagine a child playing in a garden. The child does not think about yesterday's play or tomorrow's games. They are completely immersed in the joy of running, laughing, and exploring. This natural state of presence is something we are all born with, but as we grow older, we lose touch with it. Responsibilities, ambitions, and fears cloud our awareness, making it harder to connect with the here and now. Reclaiming the ability to be present is not complicated, but it does require practice. Start by bringing your attention to your breath. Your breath is always in the present moment. It cannot exist in the past or future. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths, noticing the sensation of the air entering and leaving your nostrils. Feel the rise and fall of your chest or the expansion and contraction of your belly. This simple act of observing your breath anchors you in the present. The key is to expand this practice beyond moments of stillness. Whether you are eating, walking, or talking to someone, try to give your full attention to the task at hand. For example, when eating, savor each bite. Notice the flavors, textures, and aromas. When walking, feel the ground beneath your feet and the rhythm of your steps. When speaking to someone, listen with your whole being instead of planning your response or getting distracted by your own thoughts. One of the greatest obstacles to being present is the mind's tendency to judge. It labels experiences as good or bad, desirable or undesirable. This judgment pulls you out of the moment, making you resist what is happening instead of accepting it. To overcome this, practice observing life without judgment. See things as they are, not as you wish them to be. If it is raining, feel the rain. If the sun is shining, feel the warmth. Each moment has its own texture and richness when you stop resisting it. Living in the present does not mean ignoring the past or neglecting the future. It means acknowledging them without letting them dominate your experience. Learn from your past, plan for your future, but do so while staying rooted in the present. Think of it like driving a car. The rearview mirror is there to guide you, and the road ahead needs attention, but your hands must remain on the steering wheel in the present moment to navigate effectively. One of the profound benefits of being present is the reduction of stress and anxiety. Most of our mental suffering arises from our thoughts about what might go wrong or what we should have done differently. When you focus on the present, you step out of this cycle of mental torment. The present moment is rarely as unbearable as our mind makes it out to be. It is often simple, manageable, and filled with opportunities for joy. Another benefit is the deep sense of connection it fosters. When you are present, you connect more authentically with yourself, others, and the world around you. You notice the small details, a smile, a kind word, a blooming flower that you might otherwise overlook. This heightened awareness enriches your life in ways that no material achievement can. Being in the present moment also enhances your ability to respond to life's challenges. When your mind is clouded with thoughts of the past or future, your ability to act with clarity diminishes. But when you are fully present, you can see situations for what they are and respond with wisdom and composure. Practicing presence does not mean achieving a perfect state where you are never distracted. It is a process of continually bringing your awareness back to the now. Each time your mind wanders, gently guide it back without frustration or self-criticism. Over time, this practice becomes more natural and you find yourself spending more of your life truly present. The present moment is a gift, a doorway to a deeper sense of aliveness. When you immerse yourself in it, you discover that life does not need to be extraordinary to be fulfilling. It simply needs to be lived with awareness. So slow down, take a breath, and come back to the now. This is where life happens. This is where you find peace. This is where you find yourself. Gratitude is one of the most transformative practices you can bring into your life. It is not just about saying thank you. When things go your way, it is a way of perceiving the world that shifts your focus from what is lacking to what is abundant. In a world that constantly pushes us to chase more success, more possessions, more validation, gratitude grounds us in the recognition of what we already have. When you cultivate gratitude, you begin to see life through a different lens. The things you once took for granted suddenly become precious. The air you breathe, the food on your plate, the roof over your head, these simple everyday aspects of life are no longer overlooked but appreciated deeply. Gratitude is not about ignoring challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It is about acknowledging the blessings that coexist with the difficulties and recognizing the richness of life as it is. Gratitude is not a passive emotion, it is an active practice. It requires you to consciously redirect your attention from complaints and disappointments to appreciation and contentment. This shift does not happen automatically because the human mind has a natural tendency to focus on problems and what is missing. By intentionally practicing gratitude, you train your mind to break free from this habit and see the good that surrounds you. A powerful way to cultivate gratitude is by keeping a gratitude journal. Each day, take a few minutes to write down 3 things you are grateful for. These do not need to be monumental events. They can be as simple as a kind word from a stranger, the warmth of sunlight, or the taste of your favorite meal. Over time, this practice rewires your brain to notice and amplify positive experiences. Another practice is to express gratitude directly to others. When someone does something kind for you, take the time to acknowledge it sincerely. A heartfelt thank you can strengthen your relationships and create a ripple effect of positivity. Expressing gratitude also reminds you of the interconnectedness of life and how much of what you enjoy comes from the efforts of others, from the farmers who grow your food to the teachers who shared their knowledge with you. Gratitude also has the power to transform how you perceive challenges. Life is not free from difficulties, but even in hardship, there are lessons and opportunities for growth. When you approach challenges with gratitude, you shift your focus from "why is this happening to me?" to "what can I learn from this?" This perspective allows you to navigate life's ups and downs with greater resilience and wisdom. Nature is a profound source of gratitude. Spend time in the natural world and observe its beauty and balance. The rising sun, the sound of birds, the fragrance of flowers, these are gifts that life offers freely, expecting nothing in return. Connecting with nature reminds us of the abundance around us and helps us cultivate a sense of gratitude for the simple yet profound wonders of existence. And gratitude also brings a sense of humility. When you realize how much you have been given, even without asking, it softens the ego's grip and fosters a sense of interconnectedness. You begin to understand that life is not about achieving or acquiring, but about appreciating and contributing. This shift in perspective opens your heart and deepens your connection to others and the world. In the practice of gratitude, you come to see that joy is not something you chase or wait for, it is something you create by appreciating what is already here. Gratitude turns the ordinary into extraordinary and transforms even mundane moments into opportunities for wonder and appreciation. As human beings, we often find ourselves entangled in the web of our personal desires, challenges, and ambitions. While there is nothing inherently wrong with striving for personal goals, a life focused solely on oneself can feel isolating, limited, and ultimately unfulfilling. To truly thrive, it is essential to connect with something larger than yourself, a purpose, a community, or a profound sense of universal interconnectedness. This connection expands your perspective, lifts you beyond the confines of your individuality, and infuses your life with deeper meaning. Connecting with something bigger than yourself does not require a leap into grandiose acts or extraordinary commitments. It begins with a simple shift in awareness, a recognition that you are part of a vast and intricate web of existence. Start by observing the world around you. Notice the intricate interdependence of nature, how the trees provide oxygen, the rivers nurture life, and the earth offers sustenance. Recognizing your place in this ecosystem fosters a sense of gratitude and humility. One powerful way to connect with something larger is by serving others. When you extend yourself to help someone in need, you step out of the narrow confines of me and mine. Acts of kindness, no matter how small, create a ripple effect that reaches far beyond your immediate circle. Whether it is volunteering your time, sharing your knowledge, or simply offering a listening ear, serving others reminds you of your shared humanity. It dissolves the illusion of separation and creates a bond that uplifts both the giver and the receiver. Engaging in creative or artistic pursuits can also foster a connection with something greater. When you write, paint, sing, or create, you tap into a flow that transcends your individual identity. Artists often speak of moments when inspiration seems to come from beyond themselves, as if they are channels for something universal. This creative flow is a profound reminder that there is more to life than the boundaries of the self. Another avenue to explore is the realm of spirituality. Spirituality does not necessarily mean adhering to a specific religion or belief system. It is about seeking a deeper connection to the essence of life itself. Practices like meditation, prayer, or contemplative walks in nature can help you tap into a sense of the sacred, a feeling that life is vast, interconnected, and filled with an intelligence beyond human comprehension. This connection nurtures a profound sense of peace and belonging. Being part of a community is another way to experience a connection beyond yourself. When you work together with others toward a shared goal, whether it is building a school, organizing a neighborhood event, or simply supporting one another, you experience the power of collective effort. Communities remind us that we are stronger together and that our individual contributions, no matter how small, matter in the larger tapestry of life. Connecting with something bigger also involves surrendering the illusion of control. As individuals, we often try to micromanage every aspect of our lives, but life itself is vast and unpredictable. When you let go of the need to control and embrace the flow of existence, you begin to feel part of a greater rhythm. This surrender is not about passivity, but about trust, trusting that you are part of something far greater than your limited perspective can comprehend. Nature provides endless opportunities to experience this sense of connection. Stand by the ocean and feel the immensity of its presence. Gaze at the stars and ponder the vastness of the universe. Walk in a forest and sense the timelessness of the trees. These experiences remind you that your life is a thread in an infinite fabric, and yet every thread is vital to the whole. Connecting with something bigger than yourself also brings clarity to your priorities. When you align with a greater purpose, many of the trivial concerns and distractions that occupy your mind fade into insignificance. You begin to focus on what truly matters: love, compassion, creativity, and growth. This shift in focus not only enriches your own life, but also contributes to the well-being of the world around you. This connection to something greater often brings with it a profound sense of freedom. When you realize that your life is not just about fulfilling personal desires, you let go of the constant striving and competing. You begin to see life as a gift and yourself as a participant in something far grander than your individual narrative. This perspective allows you to move through life with a sense of wonder, purpose, and belonging. In embracing these practices, establishing inner stillness, responding instead of reacting, freeing ourselves from the grip of the mind, living in the present moment, cultivating gratitude, and connecting with something greater than ourselves, we unlock the profound potential of a life lived consciously. Each of these steps is a gateway to a deeper sense of peace, fulfillment, and joy unshaken by external circumstances. The journey toward inner mastery is not about escaping the world, but about engaging with it fully with clarity, purpose, and grace. As we align ourselves with these principles, we discover that the calm we seek is not a distant goal, but an inherent quality within us, waiting to be realized. It is this realization that transforms the way we experience life, allowing us to meet every moment with strength, serenity, and boundless possibility.